Welcome to single phase motors video part number 11. We are going to see the reluctance motor in detail today. Before detailing, let us see what is happening. We are telling about unexcited single phase synchronous motor. What all these things are, we will discuss about that. This motor will be operating from a single phase AC supply, that is around 230 volt. Our normal available 230 volt single phase supply. And this motor will be rotating at a constant speed. That is a difference. It is rotating a constant. What constant speed? That speed is known as synchronous speed. What is synchronous speed? Synchronous speed is the speed of stator revolving flux. In the supply, stator we are giving supply and it is creating a revolving flux. And the equation for that, it is 120 F by P as you are aware. That is the synchronous speed. Okay, so that speed, it is the synchronous speed, and your rotor also will be rotating at the same speed. How we will be discussing later. So the rotor will be rotating at synchronous speed, and the synchronous speed is the speed of revolving magnetic field in the stator, and there is no DC excitation required for this rotor. Why we are telling like this? In three-phase synchronous motors, we need a separate DC excitation. In this type of unexcited single-phase synchronous motor, we need no DC excitation. That is the reason it is known as unexcited. So you need not keep any additional DC source. That is a good advantage. You need not make any separate supply source or maintenance of that. It is very easy. And the thing is, these type of single phase synchronous motors are self-starting. You are knowing that three-phase synchronous motors are not self-starting, and that is the reason why we are specifically telling the synchronous motors of single phase which is unexcited, they are self-starting. Now let us see what are the types of available synchronous unexcited single phase synchronous motor. There are basically two types. One is reluctance motor and the second is hysteresis motor. In this video, we will be telling about reluctance motor in detail. Let us see the construction first. There are stator and rotor part of the motor as you are aware. In the right side, you will be seeing the stator in the top right part. This is the stator looking like a normal induction motor. And the bottom part also you will be seeing rotor. We will be explaining what is happening in the stator first. The stator can be split phase motor or it can be permanent split capacitor motor. The class B, you may be already aware, it is used for ceiling fan or table fan sort of things. It is permanent split capacitor, and the split phase type capacitor for a low torque capacity motor only, resistance and inductance run motor. Resistance, induction run motor. Maybe one winding will be having higher resistance, the other will be having reactance, and with that phase difference is getting. So this is the working of stator part. Anyway, there should be a revolving magnetic field. Okay, only low torque is being given, low torque requirements are given. So the single phase reluctance motor will be having the stator similar to a normal single phase induction motor. Now let us see about the rotor part. What the type of rotor? It is squirrel cage. You are able to see in the right side part, but it is not very similar to a normal squirrel cage rotor. Some differences are there. What is the difference? The slots are not symmetrical. Some side slots are there and some side slots are not there. Okay, this is looking like a salient pole. Salient means projecting pole. So effectively this is a projecting pole type rotor. Salient pole rotor. How it is made salient? We are cutting away some part of the slots symmetrically. Okay, so that is the reason it is totally becoming unsymmetrical. So in some part we are seeing some air gap like this. How it is made? We are cutting away few slots. Okay, by cutting away the few slots, we are effectively making unsymmetrical magnetic construction. How it is told as unsymmetrical magnetic construction? Let us see, we will tell. So this is the unsymmetrical magnetic construction item, and you can think like N and S. This is the polarity of stator which will be rotating or revolving like this. Okay, so it will be revolving. Now at present N and S is available like here, first here, and after some time I'll just change my color. After some time what happens? It will reach this position. It will be rotating. Okay, so in clockwise, let us say it is rotating. In first case, the flux flow will be very easy like this because it is a magnetic path. It is a magnetic path. But you can see in the second position with the reddish color mark, the flux cannot flow like this because it is a high reluctance path. High reluctance path. So this path will not be available because it is having higher reluctance. Then how the flux will change its position? The flux will try to flow like this. Will try to flow like this. Okay, the flux will try to flow in a distorted way. Now what happens? To keep the rotor aligned, the rotor also will rotate. The rotor also will rotate in the same direction of revolving flux. We'll see in detail. Now about the cutting away of the teeth, we'll be seeing these teeth will be removed away. 1 to 6 will be removed away. 30. Suppose it is a 48 teeth motor. How many slots are there? 48. Few teeth are removed away 1 to 6, 13 to 18, 25 to 30 and 37 to 42. All these things are removed away. So what are the remaining available items? Remaining will be like this. 7 to 12 may be available. 7 to 12 are here and 19 to 24 is available here and 31 to 36 available here and 43 to 48 available here. So few slots are available and it is becoming a unbalanced magnetic construction. Now let us see the working part of that. So this is the original condition. We are having the motor with cut slots and the stator poles are available here. So this is the stator pole now at this position. So the flux flow will be N to S, we know, and it is getting low reluctance path easily. Now what happens? The revolving magnetic field will be rotating, let us say, in the clockwise direction like this. So the N will be shifting like this. When N is shifting, the flux path also you will be able to see like this. And if still it is moving, the flux path has to move in this way. So it is very difficult to rotor to keep like this position. So what happens? To keep the low reluctance path, the rotor also will shift in the same speed of stator magnetic field. What is the speed of stator magnetic field? It is a synchronous speed. That means the rotor will start to rotate in the synchronous speed like this. So the rotor also will be rotating in the same synchronous speed. We'll start from the beginning. It is first position. Now this is the flux. If the stator magnetic field is moving, the flux position also changes and it is very difficult to maintain this position. So the rotor also starts rotation in the synchronous speed. So it is rotating and we can get a term reluctance torque. Okay. Now the reluctance torque is the turning or twisting moment of force which is tending the rotor to align with the revolving magnetic field. Okay. The torque required to make the rotor align with the rotating magnetic field, it is known as reluctance torque. So obviously there is a reluctance torque produced by the revolving magnetic field. And what will be the position of that? To keep the minimum reluctance path. Okay, so minimum reluctance path will be created by rotating the rotor. And when sufficient reluctance torque is available, what happens? The reluctance motor will be running in synchronous speed with the load. So the reluctance motor is taking the load with synchronous speed and it is created or done by the availability of reluctance torque. Now if the capacity is overcome, if the reluctance motor is run beyond its capacity, what happens? Motor will be running less than the synchronous speed. So it can not maintain if the load is more. So we cannot overload a reluctance motor, its speed will become less. So it cannot be happening. If load is further increased, it will be stopping also. So it is a low torque motor, the reluctance motor. It will just become out of synchronous speed if the load is increased, and if you are increasing further load, it will stop. Applications of this item: constant speed, signal. Mainly it is everywhere constant speed applications are used. The examples are signaling devices, recording instrument, many kind of timers and phonograph. So this is the reluctance motor. We are utilizing the application of reluctance. The rotor is finding an alignment with the stator magnetic field by aligning the low reluctance path. And this principle will be further used in the stepper motor. That will be separately told in variable reluctance stepper motors. Now in this item, this is the ordinary single phase motor with ordinary single phase stator winding.